Hello everyone, my name is Patrick and in this video I'm going to show you how to use the indentation tool in Microsoft Word to indent your text, your lines and your paragraphs. The first method I'm going to show you is using the ruler tool at the top of your document. If you can't see it, click View and then select Ruler. You'll notice it appears now above your document. With the ruler now on show, we can use it to indent our text. I'm going to use it first and foremost to just indent the paragraphs that I've just highlighted. So highlight the paragraphs and then you're going to select the bottom rectangle. It says left indent. Hold and select and you'll notice that a grey line goes down your text. We're just going to move it to the right and you'll notice straight away it creates an indentation. This indentation is based on the measurement on the ruler above. So if I bring it here, it's now 3 centimeters. 4 centimeters and then back to 2 and then I'm bringing it back to its default setting. Another feature of the ruler is using it to indent the first line of each paragraph. Again, I'm going to highlight the paragraphs. This time I'm going to select the triangle and it says first line indent. Hold and select and then you're just going to move it to the right. And you'll notice that all the first lines are being moved to the right 6 centimeters, 5 centimeters, 4, etc. and so on. So I'm going to bring it back to its default setting. If you just want to create an indentation for one paragraph, that's fine. We can just select before the paragraph or we can select all the paragraph and we can just use the settings again as we did before to create our necessary indentations. If we want to do 2 out of the 3, same again, just highlight the paragraphs you want and make the changes. If you want a shortcut to quickly indent all your paragraphs, select it all and then press Ctrl M. And each time you do so, it will create a further indentation. Or you can go to the top up here and click Increase Indent. If you then press Tab now, it will also create that function. Another use for Tab is by selecting the first line of your paragraph and selecting Tab, it will create a single indentation for the first line of that paragraph. With the basics taken care of, we can now move on to a more complicated way of creating indentations for your text. To do this, we're going to go to Paragraph Settings. A new window will appear, and in this section, we're going to focus on indentation, and we're going to use the Preview section down here to help us. The first area we're going to focus on is the indentation left and right. Here we can alter the amount of centimeters we want to create as an indentation. That's 2 centimeters. And if we wanted to create a 2 centimeter indentation to the right, we simply can make those changes. So now we've got an indentation of 2 centimeters on the left and 2 centimeters on the right. I'm just going to change this back. Now, an additional feature is using this section here called Special. I'm just going to select the downward arrow. And here we can instruct the indentation to be the first line. So it creates that indentation. We can also increase how much that indentation is. So now I've increased it to 2 centimeters. An additional feature is selecting the downward arrow again and clicking Hanging. This will essentially mean it hangs above the remaining lines by 2 centimeters. Once you're satisfied with the changes you've made, simply click OK. If you want these changes to always be the way they are now for future documents, then click Set as Default. However, please bear in mind that this will now save these settings for future documents, but it won't change previously formatted and saved documents. So don't worry too much, and I don't want to save them, so I'm just going to click Cancel. An additional feature of paragraph settings is how we can use it to modify what our tab key does. So go to the bottom and click Tabs. You'll notice straight away it says Default Tab Stops 1.27. But what does that mean? That essentially means when you hit the Tab key and you indent your text, it moves by 1.27 centimeters. So if I was going to go back, select the first line of the text and hit the Tab key, it would move 1.2 centimeters, 27 centimeters. Some of you might be 1.24, but that's what it's instructing that Tab key to do. We can actually change that, not just for this document, but all future ones as well. Go back to paragraph settings, click tabs, and now instead of 1.27 centimeters, we can increase that to 2 centimeters and then click OK. Now going back to my first line and click the tab key, you'll notice it goes to 2 centimeters. And I can check this by looking up here, and the dial is now above the 2, which means 2 centimeters. An additional feature we can look at is how we can modify what happens when the tab key is selected a certain amount of times. For this example, I'm just going to highlight my first paragraph. I'm then going to select the tab key twice. At the moment, that tells me it's on 4 centimeters. And then my next job is I'm going to input a line down here to separate this indentation and my text. Maybe it's for a resume or a piece of writing where you need to have a neat, structured area for your text and maybe a diagram. Go to paragraph settings, tabs, and here underneath tab stop position, I'm going to type in 4, the same stop as it is there, and I'm going to click on bar. Then I'm going to click set. This is now turned to 4 centimeters, and then click OK. You'll notice here I've got this line going through, almost like a separating bar between an empty space, maybe for an image or a diagram, and your text. An additional function of the tab key is instead of an empty space being created when you click the tab key, we can click it and the text will be followed by dots. To achieve this, click paragraph, settings, tabs, and then type in 4 centimeters or where you want it to be. Click left alignment and then click 2, and then click set and then click OK. Now when I click the tab key, the dots will appear. We can also go back to paragraph and then settings, and then instead of 2, we can click 3, which is dashes, and then click OK, and then dashes will appear. And we can do it one more time for underscores, and then click set and OK. And now we've got 3 different features. Instead of an empty space, we can use dots, dashes, or underscores. So that's how we use indentation in Word. If you've got any different ways, please write it below in the comments section. I would love to hear from you. If you've enjoyed this video, if it's been helpful, please click the like button. And of course, please subscribe. It will mean a great deal. And this channel is doing so great because of your support. So thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing you next time for more Word fixes.